Hello guys, welcome to my second lecture of the series. As I told you, I will be continuing with the biomass uses. First of all, what is biomass? Biomass is the energy we can obtain from trees, plants, wood products, and these are the renewable form of energies which we can create by using all these materials. Biomass is organic material made from plants and animals. It is one of the best, you can say, renewable source of energy, which actually is using the waste material to generate energy. It does not include any fossil fuel, since fossil fuel, you all know, are non-renewable source of energy, and it takes around millions of years to create the non-renewable energy sources. When burned, the chemical energy of biomass is released as a heat, and that heat is used to convert any form of energy. Burning biomass is not always the only way to release energy. We can have a biogas generator which can be used for forming the energy. Biomass introduction and availability. Biomass plant is a device for conversion of fermentable organic matter, in particular cattle dung, into combusting gas and fully matured organic manure. As we know that India is the leading producer of milk, and due to which we have a large amount of animal waste which is creating a hazard. So biomass is actually biogas generator is actually help to all those who are being disturbed by the waste material of animals. The main sources of production of biogas are cattle dung, night soil, poultry, piggery dropping. So these are all the waste materials which can be used to create a gas which will be used to create energy. These materials are confined in place out of contact with the oxygen, which enhances the fermentation, and that whole material is converted into carbohydrate, protein, fat, and into volatile acid as well as carbon dioxide. Methane gas is actually formed from it. While biomass is an organic matter derived from plants, algae, animal, and etc. Major uses of biomass is it is developed in worldwide, becoming important applications such as combined heat and power generation. In addition, biogas energy is gaining significance as a source of clean heat for domestic heating purpose. In countries like Finland, Sweden, as per capita, biomass energy is higher than in India, China, or Asia. So they are using actually biomass. Instead of burning loose biomass fuel directly, it is more practical to compress it into burets. You might have seen whenever there is a crop, we get wheat from the crop, the residual material is formed into the burette, and that burette is sometimes burned, and they can also be used to create the biomass. Such biomass dense burette can either be used directly as fuel, like we can burn it, or instead of coal, the traditional furnace as a gasifier. The gasifier, here we can see here, in gasifier, what we have a major thing that is known as digester. In digester, we have animal waste, fodder, we have, you can say, algae, water hyacinth from fish and pond, and these are all dumped into the digester, where human, animal, and vegetable waste is also there. And these, after few days, these create two types of gases, that is methane and carbon dioxide, which is further used to have in household work to have energy generation. Types of biogas plant. There are three types of biogas plant. It is fixed, modified, floating dome. In fixed, the biogas plant of majorly two type of things, that is digester and a gas tank. A digester is a place where the whole fermentation takes place, and the gas holder is the place where all the methane gas is being transferred, and from gas holder it is transferred to the household. The digester is a cube shape or cylindrical, like here we can see that this is actually a cube shaped digester, and this is the gas holder over it. It can be the basic science behind it. The dome is actually the collection of the gas, so it can be fixed, modified, or floating. Working of a biogas plant. Let's see this particular example of, this is the fixed type of biogas plant, fixed dome type. Here we can see that the slurry is being which is formed of all the animal waste and water is being added from this inlet. This is whole slurry. Now this whole this actually, what happens after few days, fermentation take place and the gas is generated. Whenever there is gas over there, this create a downward pressure into the slurry. So this slurry will go to the overflow tank and new slurry will be added to the digester. In this whole way, and after some time, this, when there is no gas available, like there is no you can say scope of compressing the slurry, then the gas is released through this valve and it is being collected into the gas chamber. So this is how the biogas plant works. Here this overflow tank in which the spent slurry is being there, you can use it again and again and keep it over here. In floating type of biogas plant, actually it is mainly built in India. Floating drum plant consists of underground digester and a moving gas holder. Like there is a pit in the surface of earth which act as a digester, and there is a moving gas holder over it which collects the gas created by the fermentation. The gas holder flowed either directly on the fermentation slurry or in the jacket of its own. The gas is collected in the gas drum, which rises or moves down according to the amount of gas stored. This is the typical example of your floating type of biogas generator. Here we can see that this is a floating biogas collector and a pit is being created into the earth surface. How it works? It works like we are adding this slurry into the digester, and whenever the slurry is enough, the digester is full, the biogas collector, it pushes them upward. First of all, it follows the path like this, but when the slurry is enough, then the fermentation take place. No more slurry is being kept into it, and the gas is collected into the biogas collector. Here this part is fixed, but this is floating. When enough gas is being generated, it goes upward. So otherwise vice versa, it goes down, it sinks back. Like biogas is produced, the drum moves up, and if the biogas is consumed, the gas holder sinks down and we add the more slurry. The common floating drum type power plant in India was suggested by Khadi Village Industry Commission KVIC first time. Fixed dome type plant. In fixed dome plant consists of a digester with fixed non-movable gas holder which sits on the top of the digester. When gas production starts, the slurry is displaced into the compensation tank. Gas pressure increases with the volume of gas stored, and the height difference between the slurry level and the digester and slurry level in compensation tank. There is also no rusting steel parts, hence a long life of the plant can be expected. We can have a, you can say, more than 20 years of lifespan of a fixed dome type of plant. The plant constructed underground, protected from any physical damage. Like in floating type, there may be some damage, but in fixed type, since there is no movable plant, so there is no problem of damage. While underground digester is protected from low temperature at night and during the cold season and longer time to heat the digester. While when we have an underground digester, there is some problem. Like in, you can say, in cold season, when the main component of fermentation is heat, and that heat is from the atmosphere. When it is not being generated, it is not being given to the slurry, the fermentation will not happen. So biggest problem with that is it protects from the outside environment. So it protected from the outside environment. That's why fixed time dome sometimes have a better efficiency as compared to the floating type. No day night fluctuation of temperature in digester positively influence the bacteriological process. Like fermentation, it is better if it is fixed type because there is less temperature variation. The first fixed type dome plant was based on the Chinese technology. The disadvantage of floating type and fixed dome biogas plant. In floating type biogas plant, we have a constant gas pressure, high gas production, less danger of explosion. There is a big problem with fixed type dome type plants, that there is a major concern is the explosion. Since the dome is not flexible, the gas generated sometimes it becomes so much that it can explode. So there is a risk in fixed time type of plant. But in case of floating type of biogas plant, so we have a less danger as compared to fixed dome type of plant. No problem of gas leakage. What are the disadvantages? Since there are movable parts, maintenance is required and it is of high cost. High maintenance is required. Loss of heat through the gas holder is there. Advantages of dome type plant: less maintenance due to moving parts, low operating and capital cost, heat insulation, as I have told you earlier, is better in case of underground construction, longer working life. Disadvantage: gas pressure majorly, since I told you, since there is no movable part over there, so gas cannot escape from the chamber, so the explosion might occur. Required skill perfection for the construction, and a sludge is formed at the end which blocks the pipe, which is a hazard. Since it's a fixed, so we have to clean all the part, or we have to break it down, and we have to clear all the pipes. That is a major disadvantage of using fixed type of dome plant. One of our major Deenbandhu biogas plant, this is one of the biggest plant which have a similar construction as I told you. It has, this is our Deenbandhu biogas plant. You can see that there is we can see a digester, and from digester, same process is there. Gas is being collected, then that gas from the digester is sent to this whole unit, where it is being produced used to produce energy. Material used for biogas generation. We have many, as I told you from the starting of the slide, we can have crop waste, animal waste, municipal waste, agro industry waste, phosphatic litter, aquatic sources like algae and aquatic plants. You can say that these are all the materials that can be used for biogas generation. Nowadays a lot of research is being done in this area, so where we can have a higher source of energy from which type of waste. Size and selection of biogas plant. The site should facilitate construction worker and should be such that the construction cost is minimized. Selected site should ensure easy operation as well as maintenance activities of that. All the whole soul, we can say that it should be outside the city or village, so that easy operation and maintenance can be done. And if we have to drain all these things, so there is no hazard in the locality. To make a plant easier to operate and avoid wastage of raw material, especially dung, swine, manure, plants can be close as possible to the cattle shed. That is the biggest thing. We can avoid more hassle by building a plant which is near to the cattle shed, so that we can transfer the animal waste easily to the biogas plant. The site should be slightly higher in elevation than the surrounding. This helps in avoiding waterlogging. Like in rainy season, there is a problem of waterlogging, and it's better if it is higher above the ground, so that we don't have a waterlogging problem. The effects for the effective functioning of biodigester, right temperature, that is around 20 to 35 degree, has to be maintained inside the digester. So therefore it is better to avoid damp and cool place. So that means it should be where the proper sunlight is there, so that the proper fermentation take place. When the open slurry get mixed open in a sunny site, means in a sunlight, select the site near the kitchen to avoid the condensation and other problem. Select the size according to the waste generation and availability of area and use. Where is the placement of biogas plant? Keep the biogas plant with care. Keep the outlet of slurry as per your convenience to collect and handle the rich slurry for manure. Provide container chamber to collect and use slurry from the outlet. Biogas energy, there are, since I am telling you advantages of biogas energy, it is one of the highest, you can say one of the cleanest bio energy that we can have from biogas, and the cost of obtaining is very less as compared to our non-renewable sources of energy. Plant ensure a continuous supply. Plant will not go anywhere, and animal will not go anywhere, so we have abundance of animal dung as well as the plant waste. Combustion of biogas does not cause sulfur dioxide air pollution. As I told you, it is one of the cleanest form of energy which can be used, and the sulfur in vegetable is also 0.1%. Growth of biogas consume more carbon dioxide than is released during the combustion beside. As we know that it is also helping the environment, it is using more and more carbon dioxide, so that the purification process of whole atmosphere can be done. Biomass is a perennial and a low polluting type of energy, and its byproducts are being capable to be recycled. Since there are merits, so there are demerits also. Accumulation of water in the pipeline, and it need to be removed in periodic interval. As I told you, the sludge gets stuck into the pipes, and there is a lot of problem in the especially fixed dome type of biogas generator. Insufficient designing of gas supply. Seasonal variation is there, since in summer season, or you can have sunny season, we have a more gas generation as compared to the winter season, according to the Indian temperature I am talking about. So seasonal variation and poor insulation is one of the problem. And on absolute basis, the cost of biomass energy is found to be generated than coal-based plant. Thank you very much. In next lecture, I will be taking care of solar energy cells, and I will be telling the what kind of cells are there, the array formation. So I will stop here, and thanks for your patient listening. Thank you very much.